We're proud to partner with Lucky Tattoo Supply, professional tattoo supplies for professionals only. Use code LadyLiberty10 to get 10% off your next order at LuckySupplyUSA.com. Thanks for listening.
And honestly, I really like being in the machine shop. I think it's like one of the coolest parts.
Do you work in it much? Do you?
No, so I used to
of...
have a little helping hand in that, but now I just focus on building the machines.
Do you like make your own frames?
Yeah, so
and everything?
the handmade frames I'll hand cut and braze. But this is all the CNC. So
okay, sure.
Rick does all the machining.
Yeah.
He has Ian who helps him out, help him finish off some stuff. But we have now 4 CNCs.
Okay.
And 2 manual mills. You guys can come back here. So these machines make the frames, your binding posts, your twist and lock grips, all your tubes. Everything is manufactured in-house. And these are the manual mills.
Yeah.
So if a one-off frame needs to be made, if you need a shelf remachined to change the degree on there, all that happens right here.
Okay.
And then if you need something painted, usually happens here. If you need paint removed, rust removed, anything like that, that happens here. We got our sandblaster.
Paint happens here?
Yeah, here, and then we take it outside. But we have a mess of paint and stains.
Cool.
These are all fixtures for different frames. So like this is like a widow style frame, so that'll get bolted. If it needs to be remachined or just cut in more, that's what happens right there. We got our lathe, so this is where binding posts are made. So your brass one-off binding posts. Yeah. Sometimes they'll make hammers. We'll make little one-off tools.
Yeah,
that all happens right here.
That's
too.
Cool.
But this is where all the coils are made. So all the fiber washers get cut here. They go into this little fixture. They get clamped down. Boop, the hole gets made.
Wow.
And then they all get wound right here. And this is where all the coils are made. All the coil tape.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Every tape imaginable, every wire. It all gets done in-house by one person, by Missy.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool.
That is very, very cool.
So we pretty much streamlined where everything gets made. We don't really outsource anything.
That's great.
As little as possible, it all gets made. So, and there's only like 12 of us here. So quality control, all that is very, very, very tight now.
Goes through fewer hands. And
yes. Literally like
easier to catch anything.
2 hands right here, 1 hand right here, and then me and Jimmy. And then the girls in the front, and that's pretty much it.
Sure.
So I mean, all this it used to be a little bit crazier, but this is all the fixturing. So all your favorite frames. Sometimes if you want to have a machine made, you can have a fixture manufactured just for you to have a production style machine made that usually come out like this. And I mean, like our Jonesy. That's pretty much how it comes out. So it starts off as a solid block about that big. It gets faced. Yeah, they basically go through these little phases. So it gets faced here, this profile, and it goes down, gets clamped. This is the hinge tube vise that goes on here. Gets flipped, bolt, and then it does the out face. And then you have your frame. Manufactured after that. Yeah, it's not every day that you get to see those in the behind the scenes for how the machines are made. It is definitely not a large production where there's 100 people touching that, which I think is really important to know too, because some people just assume that. Like there's an assembly line of people. Literally, it's 2 guys running it, 1 guy's helping, but 1 guy's doing all the designing and then doing all the CNC work.
Yeah.
And then after that, it comes directly to me.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's a lot, but it's But this is all the material right here for like twist and lock grips, your regular stainless steel grips, the spring rollers, all that's here. You know, the material for the frames, any fixturing, all that basically goes here and then into that locker. So, and even that cage was made here.
It's crazy that it doesn't
No
take up
joke.
that much room, you know, for what these things do.
Because
It's wild.
everything has been built for it to fit that way.
Yeah.
You know, because before it was a little bit crazier. But,
Sure.
You know, but he made that, dude, he made that cage for everything to be put in there, which is pretty cool too.
That is very cool.
Yeah, like even that, I mean, dude, you can't buy that, you know?
Right.
And then we got Sailor Jerry's wall. We were talking about him earlier. So these are actually all original. These are all his flash sheets, his acetates, tracings, studies. I'd like to point out how artistic he was and how advanced he was, especially for the time, especially in the 70s. I think he was super ahead of his time and very intelligent guy. I mean, dude, like, I think if he was alive today, I think he would still, he'd be crushing everybody. I think he actually is, since people are still mimicking what he does.
Right.
But this is a study for a full front that he never got to do.
Wow.
Here's a couple of flash sheets. There's a few acetates, which I will point out, he has the cleanest acetates I've ever seen, period. A few of his business cards are down here. And I'll definitely show you some of his letters too once we go in the back. But yeah, but how crazy is that?
It's insane.
Yeah.
And something else that I also like to point out, that again, one person, Jimmy, has collected all of these things. The full collection is roughly 70,000 pieces if you add everything together. So like, that is absolutely nuts.
Right.
That one person has collected all this.
Yes.
Since 99, 2000. Since then.
Yeah,
You know?
totally insane. We were talking about that again this morning. Like, what did he say last night?
Yeah,
That's
70,000 pieces.
Yeah.
The biggest collection of anything.
Yeah.
Like a private, just in general.
Yeah, if you add every single thing. And the craziest part is that everything isn't on display. So like, but if you're talking frames, acetates, paintings, dude, the amount of effort it takes to even try to collect that, like, dude, he spends all his time collecting the stuff and sourcing it and making sure it's legit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Yeah.
It's like to be able to even put it in his collection, because he's not just grabbing anything. That's the thing too.
Right.
So I think people should appreciate that when coming in here, is that one person did all of this. This isn't like this group effort where it's like 50, he's got a team of 50 people sourcing it. No, it's one person sourcing it. And then if somebody happens to want to get rid of something in their collection, maybe they'll approach him. But dude, that still doesn't even happen a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, to actually make this happen, and the effort it takes and the care that it takes to do this is pretty insane.
So for those at home who may not know,
that's where the tattoo machine started. Yeah. And honestly, I mean, you know, the next time somebody wants to go buy some clippers, take that thing apart. And it's generally a tattoo machine. It's a coil that's built on a relay.
Sure.
And it has a little piece that moves the clippers left and right, or moves the bell up and down.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the start. And it really hasn't changed at all.
Yeah, I mean,
not even the spacing between the coils.
Right.
Changed.
Just
it's been the same for thousands of years at this point, you know, like, or hundreds of years. I don't exaggerate, but yeah, it's been the same, and it hasn't had a need to change, because it's been designed perfectly. Honestly, it's all the hard work's already been done, so there's no need for it to change. And we actually have a couple more bells up here too. Yeah, I saw those. Yeah. And there's one next to his office. And there's another one up there as well. Yeah, that's so cool. And they still work. I want to say he hooked them up once, and it was like, dang, you know. And then we have some of Jerry's machines here. This is Bulldog, straight arm, this modified one. The one we were talking about earlier, the modified Jonesy. This one's a Paul. That one's Jerry's right there. These are Scott Sterling's, but it's the same casted frame as this Jerry frame. And then this one's really cool. It's not Jerry, but it is It is the Johnny Walker. It's the
Mm-hmm.
the very first, like before the Supreme. This is before the Supreme.
Okay, sure.
I don't know why I'm brain farting the word or whatever, but yeah, I'm sorry, the prototype. That's what I'm trying to say the word. But that lightweight is the prototype to the Supreme that everybody knows now.
Mm-hmm.
That's the very first one.
That's super cool.
Yeah. I actually found that one online and then was like, yo, Jimmy, like,
oh, wow.
And eventually he got his hands on it. So
that's cool.
Yeah, and it comes with a letter and it comes with the whole deal. So
wow.
That's pretty cool too. And then it's like, yeah, we got these. These are all Sailor Verne. I think even that one's a Sailor Verne. That one's a Paul Rogers. The CTC, I'm not sure who that one is. These are all Wagner's machines from New York, which is pretty cool. That's the 20s. So that's where information starts getting a little bit muddy, The only thing I know about Wagner, and I learned this from Stan Moskowitz, is he was a drunk.
Yeah.
And he wasn't that reliable, and you kind of stayed away from him. But I guess he really did dictate what you got and all that. That's 100% a fact. And a few other unsavory things, but my question, and I think the question that kind of gets blurred a little bit is who was the first person to make that frame?
Yeah.
There is probably somebody out there that has the answer to it, but there is somebody else, Fawkes, that has the same exact frame from the same era. And I'm wondering if they, I know Wagner would sell frames for people, but but was it really him? I don't know if he was a functional alcoholic or what the deal was with him. I actually, he catches my interest the absolute most.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's very interesting, and I love his frame. The frame style is really cool. So I just want to know who made the frame style first. Who actually casted it and made that. But foundries in the U.S. were a dime a dozen. You could find them.
True.
Find them everywhere. So
yeah, that is super cool. Unique frame for sure.
But then since we're over here, Paul's machines I like to point out as well because they're all hand fabricated. Every single one of the machines are a one-off. Yeah, they're all a one-off. He did not make production frames.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think the only one that would even be remotely close is maybe the Model 6s, like the V frames, because I think he casted those with Ernie Carafa.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. Which is pretty insane to see too. And then eventually you get the Spalding Rogers, you get like the Supremes and whatever. But those frames that you're looking at are all one-offs. Even that Mickey Sharps, he basically would just get whatever he could and just build it.
This one here?
Oh no, the blue one off to the part left.
Oh sure, yeah,
the hybrid. Yeah, that hybrid frame. And how cool is that? And then even that Coleman's pretty sick too. The red Coleman, that one's pretty sharp as well. And then over here we have some of the Bill Jonesies up here.
I think I've only ever borrowed somebody's Jonesy before.
Oh really?
That's the only bit of history I have with those.
Hey, history is history. That's okay.
Yeah.
And then we have I believe this is a Smith and Howard, or if people want to call it a Brooklyn Blackie, but it is a Smith and Howard. Blackie actually didn't have anything to do with that. I forget the story behind it, but yeah, but that's an OG right there. OG Smith and Howard. That's the original Jonesy, but somebody just gold plated it. This one, I'm not sure. That might be a Waters, but it's like a Dietzel style because of that T at the top. But Bill Loika, that's an original Zeiss machine, the Perfection. Some of Rollo's machines, some of his Rolomatics. You can kind of tell by the A-bar if he built it or not. But yeah, these are his. Those are engraved ones. And then the cast ones right there. Mickey Sharps. You got all the Kaplans over there. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, dude. I didn't even see these earlier.
Yeah.
This is for sure like.
Yeah, that kit you were talking about is more than likely, it's more than likely Big Joe.
And the funny thing is like with that kit, and then the second round, which is this round of tattooing, Spalding and Rogers, kit.
Yeah.
I had no idea which one was the liner and which one was the shader.
Yeah.
They were like,
you had to just
what's the
dial it,
difference?
just turn it in,
Yep.
just if it had a dime gap or
exactly. Well,
nickel gap,
then I read the book.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a dime gap, a nickel cap, right?
Which, I mean, honestly, you could have lined with a shader and it just,
Well,
nowadays you can, it'd be better to tattoo somebody's ribs with a shader.
Exactly.
Just to get a little bit of bounce. And then here is all newer builders as well. So the Canada branch Lucky's, that's their machine. We have Drengenberg. These are kind of mixed up a little bit. So I'm not sure about all the builders, but it's another Kaplan, it's another one-off. We talked about Gus from Japan. I believe that's from Gus from Japan as well. Swash Drive, which I actually like their rotaries. I thought they were really innovative for their time. They're actually the first people I've seen sell a pen.
Oh, really?
That I've seen. Not that they're the first ones, but ones that I came across that will sell a pen. But
how long has Drengenberg been machine building?
I don't know, but it's been a long time, dude. Yeah, it's been a really long time he's been building machines. I like his machines a lot. His machines are pretty sick, man. And he's super knowledgeable as well.
Sure.
He's extremely smart. I've only talked to him a handful of times, but the guy knows his stuff. He's awesome. And Dennis Doyer, the nail machine, I think he just passed away recently. We have a few of his nail machines, but I think there's another one. Where's Dennis's machine? There's a bunch of Paul's machines. I mean, this is pretty much all Paul's machines. Paul. There's another Paul. For Candy, so that's probably Rolo or somebody like that.
Is that a Spalding?
Yes, that's a Puma frame. Yeah. That's the one a lot of people are familiar with as far as the kits is the Puma frame, which is a pretty good frame. But this is Mike Wilson's collection, his donation to Lucky's. So pretty impressive if you ask me. Something else to point out too. I mean, we got these are Bob Wicks flash sheets. This, and there's like two more over here. So I believe that's a Wicks too. I feel like there's one more, but it'll pop itself back out. But his stuff is pretty rare because he had a pretty short stint in tattooing. He only tattooed for about 10 years, from 20s to the 30s. Wow. He was done. Which, since we're mentioning it, those paintings, those are Bob Wicks as well.
These?
Yeah.
They're
Which
beautiful.
I'm pretty sure Jimmy's got the biggest collection of Bob Wicks paintings.
The colors and the flesh tone is so cool.
And you got to think,
this right there.
He was around the 20s and 30s. He was doing all this stuff. Yeah. And those paintings are perfect. There's no cracks. There's nobody's like repainting it to preserve it. He was very knowledgeable about painting and oils. And I think that's amazing to think about. His stuff is pretty top notch,
So I'm definitely familiar with seeing these cane machines on the Lucky website.
So it's funny, these silver ones are actually from the molds. The very last ones, So
really?
Aaron chopped them and then just silver soldered or brazed them together to make the final one. So that's it. There ain't no more. There's no more getting made for sure. Those are the last ones.
I think.
Yeah, the double spirals.
I think that was the first cane machine that I ever got to run.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think he discontinued those permanently.
Yep,
Never made
I saw
again.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know if the buddy of mine, I was just borrowing his, the guy that I used to work with. I don't know if he still has it or not, but he resprung it, and it was a shader. Yeah, it was super cool.
They're awesome machines. I mean, he's super knowledgeable too, and his machine theory is really, really cool as well. If you kind of dissect what he does, but I mean, we have this run right here too. This all the collabs. So Little G, Big G, Timothy Hoyer, Grime, and the Dennis Doyer I was talking about earlier. These are sets of fairy frames that Aaron carved.
Oh, cool.
And we got his Jonesy set. I think those are like the Zoo liners. These are all Brian Hibbard. I don't know if that's a Brian Hibbard. It looks like a Brian Hibbard. From here forward is all Hibbard. Shank made. Down here's Lucky's, but Mike Wilson engraved these. Mike Wilson engraving. I think that's one of Mike's frames. That's definitely one of Mike's frames. One of his Paul Roger left-handed frames, and one of his one-offs, the single coil. These are Scott Sylvia. These Tim Hendricks. So yeah, from here to there, Tim.
Yeah, I forgot
how neat are those, right?
Yeah.
These are Ben Max machines. His stuff is really neat too. Oh yeah, these are Tim's. Scott Sylvia and Tim Hendricks collab. These are my buddies Jeff Sursix. He's out here in Tampa. He makes some nice machines too. And then I do like to point out WR King stuff because he's that same era where it's like, you know, it's, I think what, 40s, and I mean, look how sharp that is.
Yeah,
you know, that's pretty slick.
Right.
Yeah, his stuff's awesome. And then I'll show you the library. So the library is real cool because we got a lot going on. So I'll show you. So I believe these videos just have Dana, and it has I can't think of the gentleman's name right now. But yeah, they're just building machines in the shed. It was pretty sick.
That's so wild.
I want to know if somebody has one of his frames that he's building in here, and then might be like, yo, this is the one.
That would be super cool.
How cool is that? Wow. And it's cool too because you get a glimpse of how he built his machines.
Right.
If I could sit here and watch this every day, honestly, I probably would. Yeah. So we were discussing her. I'll let you guys, I'll pull this out for you. I do want to show you a little bit about Burt Graham, because this is something I appreciate as well. So it starts off when he was 17 up to the point where he passes away. So you have like his wife. You have another photograph of him. 1916. And these are the original photos too.
That's so crazy.
You know, you don't even get photography like that anymore,
right?
You know?
Exactly. It's like the best portrait reference ever. Yeah,
you can't even replicate that.
All the values are so good in there,
and it's like how awesome is that, you know? Yeah, Tim was a little bit older, 66. Yeah, Bob shop. Some tattooing in the shop.
No gloves.
I love seeing stuff like this, you know?
Right.
And I think what tattooers should, pay attention to is when you're replicating these designs, you're continuing this lineage. Like you're a part of this thing that's bigger than you. You don't even know who made the designs originally.
Yeah.
But a lot of tattooers, they gravitate towards it. They don't even know why.
Right.
Like why that design, you'll tattoo it damn near for free or for free.
Sure.
Just to do it, you know.
Yeah.
You're part of this thing that's, it's a lot bigger than me, bigger than you. It's, and we subconsciously want to just keep doing this thing or just help advance it. Even if you did Adrian Lee style tattooing, somebody walked in and was like, "Yo, I want to get this old picture machine flash." You're gonna be like, "Hell yeah!" Yeah, dude. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, sorry, Adrian Lee, not Dominic. I always confuse their names.
Like you'll never turn that down and be bummed out about doing these style tattoos. There's something raw about it, and it's cool because I don't think we have more things that show background family footage more than Grimm. So that's why I do like to show that. It's like you get to really get to see who the guy was.
True. I mean, it's a good point. Like you never see any of that stuff.
No.
Other than in the limelight of tattooing.
Up at the party, who's that? Oh, it's Ed Hardy.
Oh my gosh. So wild.
I think probably the smartest man in tattooing is probably Ed Hardy. He's everywhere, dude. The smartest guy in tattooing. Like, in this, which a lot of people don't get a catalog career like this, but you just saw in a nutshell from when he was 17 up to his 85th birthday.
Yeah.
Right. Then you get to see some of the work that he's done outside these walls. You'll see the plaques that match the photos, and all the flash sheets. We have the matching acetates too, which I'll show you guys in a second as well. This can be tracked where it came from all the way up to Grim.
Wow.
Jimmy could tell you better than me, but it's not. We don't just add things for the sake of adding things. As a matter of fact, that's the last thing he adds is acetates. He's not in here. I'm the one who's buying acetates.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a ton of Tony Polito acetates. But yeah, how amazing is that?
It's incredible.
Even to be able to touch it and just hold it. Right. And then mind you just saw his whole life in a nutshell. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. And one man has spent a quarter of his life collecting all this to make it available in one place for free. You just come for the love of it.
That's the thing that I keep thinking about. It's like, it's so insane. Jimmy literally has so many people's life work all in one. It's insane.
Yeah. It really is. Cool. It's something that I think maybe some people can overlook because it's a lot of stuff and you're not really thinking about what it took to even make this a thing.
Right.
Yeah. And again, effort. Tattooing to me, effort should be right next to it. The effort to preserve history, the effort to apply a tattoo in the same manners, the effort to make a tattoo machine so people can work.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
The effort to improve all those things so you guys can work and do your job efficiently.
Which that's maybe another part that I never thought of. Like, if things didn't ever get easier, let's say it all stopped with coils, it all stopped with hand drawn, or just, you had to still just use your microns to make your line drawings.
Right.
If that maybe would have made it, the cost of entry a little steeper.
I think if you had to use a nib,
dude, I hate you.
I think if you had to use a nib, dude, I think people were like, well, I don't know about this, dude.
Yeah.
Like, how many sheets, man? Like, what? You got to put designs on the wall.
Do you have any smoother paper?
Yeah. I think definitely there would be less shops opening if they had to do this amount of work.
Sure.
It would be impossible.
Yeah.
But these people have dedicated their lives to doing this craft. So I think when you do pick a trade like tattooing and you're like, I'm about it, I'm a tattooer and this is what I do. I think at a minimum, you should be grateful for all the accessibility that you have, because just getting the images, wasn't like people were handing that out. It's not like Pinterest where you can just go, you just look it up. Nobody would give it to you, and if they did give it to you, something was wrong with it. Like if you didn't have enough sense to fix it or just double check, that was your fault.
Yeah, right.
Or just getting the pigments, getting all the effort that they had to do to make a business run. If you had to do that today, dude, it'd be a completely different business. You really had to love it, because I'm sure you'd be frustrated first day in.
Absolutely. Right.
Where do you get designs from?
Yeah.
You know?
So you either stop there or you figure it out.
Yeah, you figure it out because you really want to do it.
Right.
And it's not just a money grab. There's that. And I think too, at a minimum, if you're in tattooing right now and you have the opportunity to come here and just get a little bit more appreciation, that's something that I think is absolutely mandatory. Especially if you're in Florida, dude, this is dry, dude, I'd come here every day just to be in here. I'm like, what are you doing here? I'm like, dude, there's a lot to see. I gotta see. The fact that Jimmy's making, Paul's videos accessible, you just come in and come watch it. And watch him build a machine. And I meet a lot of guys that say they want to get into machine, but they want to learn more. Why don't you just come here and just like, if you do pay attention, you'll learn a lot just from watching him work.
Right.
It's really important to know what you're getting into and where you came from. And what exactly are you getting involved with? Because it's not just knocking out a tattoo and putting it online. There's a lot of history behind it. There's there's facts and not what Joe Schmo told you down the street because they're older. You know, there's documented. Everything's documented. It's right there.
Yeah.
These are from these people's families. Like, this is legit. It's not an assumption. This stuff is here. It's right there. You know, I think that's important. And I think once you do get into it, I mean, it can lead you in so many different directions. It can lead you into machining, learning how to braze.
Sure.
You know, it could lead you into, you know, being a chemist. A lot of pigment. That's a lot of chemistry.
Right.
You know, and I think all those things lead you into being a better tattooer.
Sure.
And knowing your craft in those senses, you know.
Yeah. Just even how you were explaining the whole molecular level of whatever brand it's like, what?
Yeah.
That's just one component.
Because people don't think it's not just this random fluid that you're just dumping. Like, it has to be a certain size to even implant into the skin.
Yeah, exactly.
The machine has to work hard enough to put that big particle into the skin and make it stay.
Sure. Right. Exactly.
Without screwing everything up.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. But that's something that I think now that everything is so fast paced and so accessible, you don't even think twice about like how those things work.
Right.
It's just available to you.
Yeah.
But if you had to source it and you had to make pigment and that pigment didn't go on the skin, you'd start asking more questions.
Sure.
That's and tattooers should ask more questions.
That's a good point.
You know, and not to repost it online or anything like that. Like, just for their own sake of learning something.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's like, you know, there's not enough tattooers that know their craft, and there's a lot of them that say that people don't know their craft. You know, I mean, a lot of people that these guys don't know anything about nothing. And truth be told, if you start talking to them, it's like you're missing a lot of things too. You should probably keep learning.
Sure.
In tattooing, you'll never learn it all.
Right.
I don't care how good you are.
Right.
There's something new you can figure out. And maybe that's not their focus, or maybe it is, but I think maybe you should just know it just because. And plus, it's fun to learn something new.
Yeah, exactly.
Why wouldn't you want to learn something new?
Right.
And it might make you apply things or do things a little bit differently.
Well, especially about something that's feeding you and giving you the career and your ability to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt to learn a few things.
And I know Jimmy, when I first met him, and a few other guys, it was more of, what are you going to give back?
Yes.
Because tattooing is going to give you a life.
Right.
So you have to be able to give something back to it.
Yep.
Just anything.
The
Just
dude that I started with, where my career started, he's always a big fan of being a contributor to tattooing. And instead of taking from it, just what can you contribute? Yeah. And just being a contributor, it's almost like not even calling it being a tattoo artist. It's like, are you a contributor to tattooing? Yeah. That's I think that's kind of, I don't know if I had shared with you, but we talked to Jimmy about it last night, is like, anytime somebody comes and they want a tattoo. Yeah. Well, why? Why do you want to do it? So there has to be like some contributing factor in there, because otherwise it's like, well, then it's just another job. You may as well work at Valvoline. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but tattooing's way more critical, I think, because is your why going to get you through the slow season? Is your why going to get you through the lack of inspiration? If you had to make acetate stencils, is your why big enough? Are you passionate about it? Is this a true love? You know, otherwise, it's just going to go away. I agree. As a matter of fact, myself, when I got into tattooing, I don't even know why I got into tattooing, to be honest with you. I didn't even know you can make money from it. Oh. You know, I didn't think of it as a job. Sure. So it was kind of cool, you know? Yeah. And I had zero direction. I was like a 15-year-old. I don't know left from right anyway, you know? And eventually it's like, you know, I want to say I had this little, you know, cheap bulldog machine, all black, 12 wrap coils. Then you had to crank that thing up to get it to work. It was horrible. And I took it apart just to see if I could put it back together. Oh, that's cool. And dude, I could not put it together. It was terrible. It was way too many washers left over. It was awful. I was like, wait a minute. I had to end up with more stuff. And I was like, all right. And eventually I put it back together, but it ran different. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. You know, tattoos with it was a little bit better, I guess. Like maybe this thing's a shader. Maybe it's not lying, you know.
what if I take it? And then I started figuring out, okay, you can get the parts didn't range back then, even for 09. It's not even like it was that long ago.
Yeah, right.
The type of parts, but I'm like, oh, I can get 8 wrap coils. Let's try that. And I started tinkering, and then that turned into, okay, what the hell am I doing? And then maybe I should pick a style attack because, dude, I'm just scratching on people. Just marking them up.
Yeah.
And then that turned into, okay, what's a traditional tattoo? What does that even mean?
Sure.
Then that turned into, do I like that style? I don't know.
Yeah. And if so, why?
Well, my art ain't shit. It's just, if we're being honest, like I suck. I should probably work on my art a little bit more.
Yeah.
Who am I to say what's good and what's not good? I have no clue what good is. Then I started getting tattooed. I picked one person that I liked. I still work with him till this day.
Oh, that's cool.
I got tattooed by him once a month. I got my whole arm done.
Wow.
And then I was like, all right, well, then he started putting me, he was like, hey, I was like, hey, dude, can I get an apprenticeship? He told me no, like, I think maybe 4 times or whatever. I asked him again, and he's like, well, dude, like, thing is, people don't really want an apprenticeship. Like, it's kind of good. He turned me down. I think that was a test for him, too, because, dude, I came back 4 times.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, dude, sure? Like, dude, please. He's like, well, where are you going to even work anyway? There's not even a booth for you.
Oh,
where are you going to, there's no place, even if I hired you, there's nowhere for you to be.
Yeah.
I was like, well, dude, doesn't matter. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, come in, sweep the shop, and then that turned into my apprenticeship. And then he's like, hey, you need to meet Jimmy. And then eventually I met Jimmy. And then I started talking to him. And I seen what the museum was. This is when it was on East Bay.
Okay.
And I was like, all right. I was like, dude, I got this right up the road.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay to be here.
Sure.
And I want to say the first actual conversation I had was like, hey, man, I see all these guys, they have machines. Like, how does that even work? How do you have your machines? Like, what is that? And he's like, well, if you want, you can build a machine here with me. And he's like, but you got to get here like 6 a.m. And dude, I was on like ultra lazy tattooer time, dude. The day don't start till like 2.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, I was up at 3.
Yeah.
I didn't think I went to sleep that night.
Sure.
I was like, all right, I got my money. Like, all right, I'm gonna build this machine. And I built a Blackie, or a mini Smith and Howard, with Jimmy and his son.
Oh wow.
And dude, we wound all the coils. We did everything from A to Z. We did the whole thing. And I'm like, damn, I built this machine.
That's
I'm
crazy.
gonna use it. I'm gonna use it today.
Yeah.
Awesome. Tattooed with it. I was like, all right, I want to do it again. As soon as I made some money, I was like, hey, kind of want to, what can I do to set this up? And I made a Widow machine. Mike Wilson engraved it. It's the whole thing. And that day, I actually met Dan Dringenberg.
Wow.
I all chopped it up with him. He was here for a hockey game. And I was like, man, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm like, I ain't rich, but dude, like, I kind of want to do this again. Kind of got obsessed with it a little bit. And then I figured out, if you get raw material, you can cut out a frame, you can cut out a side plate, get yourself a shelf. You can make your own machine. You can make one.
Sure.
So then the machine that's in the museum, that little Supreme, is what I made.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cook that thing in the backyard. I'm like trying to figure out, I'm using a cutting torch. I'm not even using like the right torch. I'm like, man, what's up with this thing? And I fusion welded, dude. It was this fried piece of crap. I was like, man, this thing sucks. Yeah. I suck. I'm not doing this. I'm leaving it to the pros. And I talked to somebody, and they're like, dude, if it's metal, man, it's always fixable. It's metal. Okay, all right, I'll give it another try. And dude, that thing, I mean, I could probably bend that thing with my hands. Right. It's so cooked, And eventually I just put it together, and I just pushed the hole back. I chopped the front, and I was like, you know what? This thing ain't too bad, man. I hadn't been in my daily liner for a long time.
Wow, that's awesome.
And eventually, one really weird day, Jimmy calls me up, and I'm like, dude, what is he calling me for? He's like, hey man, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just hanging out with my dog right now. Like, what's going on? And he's like, he starts laughing. He's like, you need a job? And I was like, yeah, why not? I was like, man, I'm still working, with my guy, but And he's like, well, don't rush into it. We'll talk in a couple days.
Sure.
Like, oh, okay. A couple days go by, and a couple days is April 1st. I was like,
gosh.
and Jimmy's low key is a prankster. I don't know if you know, Joker, dude. So I'm like, dang, he's pranking me, dude.
Oh,
like,
funny.
Fuck, that's a fucked up prank, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I really wanted to work with him. I call him, he doesn't pick up. I'm like, dang. I'm like, well, I'll text him, hey, dude, I'm just following up, you know. And he's like, oh, dude, I've just been busy. Like, you know, I was like, oh, okay, it's no problem. And then eventually we chopped it up, and then next I'm working here. I'm
wow.
like, oh, shoot, dude. Like,
yeah.
And he's like, hey, well, you want a tattoo here? I'm like, as soon as I'm like, hey guys, like, you know, and Mike Wilson calls me, he's like, hey man, congrats, you're in the big league now.
Damn,
like, wow. Shoot, dude. I'm like, what is Mike Wilson doing calling me, dude?
Wow.
That's crazy. And, you know, here we are now, and it's, you know, it's like what is like building machines and caring about tattooing and spreading education, all those things turns out to be my contribution to tattooing, because now that is becoming a lost thing.
It is. Yeah.
You know, so it's very magical in that sense. And so you're, even with this podcast you guys are doing, I mean, it's like you are spreading information and helping other tattooers maybe guide their own career, like
sure.
maybe something to look back so you can look forward, that kind of thing.
Right, right, exactly.
This should not be forgotten in any sense. So,
definitely.
You know, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I think too, it kind of, you know, some of the topics that we've covered in the podcast is like, you know, the person who's sitting with us getting this tattoo, they don't have any idea, like, oh, you actually had to do stuff to learn this? Yeah, well, here's what an apprenticeship can look like.
Yeah.
Here's what we've heard apprenticeships can look like. Oh, I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
Like, we're trying to answer those questions that maybe people never thought to ask.
Right.
You know, and some of them, it's like, well, that's cool information. Other people or other things that might prevent somebody from getting a bad tattoo, or prevent somebody from having a bad apprenticeship and wasting a lot of time and money. What does that even look like? Very different definitions probably, but
yeah, definitely. I think both ways. I mean, there's something like my clients, they always ask, do you go to school for this? Or do you, like, what do you, you know, whatever. And I'm like, no, I had a formal apprenticeship and it was not easy whatsoever.
Right.
I earned every little bit of it. I did not have to pay, but I paid for my time. I paid with effort.
Yeah.
I showed up every day, no matter how hard it was or how mean situations were or how inconvenient it was for me. I did it, and I didn't complain one time, and I got it done.
Sure.
You know, and that was my payment.
Right.
You know, so when people do ask, I'm like, yeah, well, it's not just you go to school and you just pay and then that's it. I'm like, there are the legal side of it. I guess you got to go do your bloodborne pathogen. You got to go get licensed and do all that. But there is a contribution with spending time drawing, spending time learning, spending time tracing. Sometimes not doing any of that and just sitting there and watching people tattoo, and you're not a part of it. You just watch.
Yep.
A lot more than often being seen and not heard.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of that too.
Yeah.
So, I definitely, with my clients, they're going to learn something. I don't care if you care or not. You're going to hear me rant about it all for 2 hours or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I definitely go. And I think that ends up being a given too, just because I'm the only one using coils, and they're like, well, what is that? You know, and I'm like, well, here's a story, you know, like, well, since we're here, and they end up appreciating it a little bit more. And I definitely think they can see the difference from previous experiences by the time I'm done talking their ear off, because I'll go into making pigments. I'm like, hey, all the ink that I've used, I made it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The needles you use, I designed and made it.
Sure.
This machine with my name on it, it's not because it's for me, it's because I made it.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, hey, this was a normal practice at one point.
True.
This was a normal practice. And if they weren't making it, they got it from somebody that they knew, that, you know, it was a very tight-knit kind of deal. So, and usually they're like, hey, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. You didn't just go to the store and go buy it.
Right. Yeah.
Like you had to, if somebody was even nice enough to tell you where to go get any of that stuff.
Exactly.
The right kind of needle pen or the right type of pigment that wasn't going to screw them up. You know, there's definitely a lot of that. So
definitely,
if you're in my chair, you're probably going to hear about it. If you work with me, you're definitely going to hear about it. 100%. There's no choice if I'm annoying or not. I don't care. You know.
Well, do you want to get it all set up officially? I feel like you've already done 2 podcasts for us.
Oh, that's it.